Hey friends, it's Simon Hurley and welcome to another video. Today I'm using some stamps from my Easter release, especially the lovely Lilies Peel Apart background stamp, to create a really fun gatefold card with both of the sides, and also some fun stamping techniques. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so I'm starting off by taking the lovely Lilies background stamp. I love this background stamp because of how much versatility you have along with it. So this is a peel apart background stamp, which means there's cutouts in the stamp and the two sides of Lilies separate out from that center pattern of the dots. So you could either use the sides separately or you could use them together. You can take out the middle piece and move them closer. There's so many different things you could do with this background stamp because there's cutouts. So for the first card, I'm going to be creating a gatefold card, which I'm going to use both of the sides of Lilies as the kind of folding areas. So I took out the centerpiece and I'm going to just move them closer together so I can get both of them stamped out in one piece. So just moving them closer, and then I'm able to go in with my jet black archival ink and start inking this up so we can stamp it down. Now I'm going to stamp it down into some stark white cardstock, but I've cut the piece quite a bit larger, about 6 by 6 than my card, and then I'll end up cutting it down later once the design is all figured out. So once I have that stamped down, I like to throw over a little bit of clear embossing powder, and the jet black archival ink stays wet just long enough so you can throw over a little embossing powder, and then I'll heat it so it's nice and clear and shiny. I just like the finish that gives. It gives it a nice finished off look once you're done. And with my clear embossing powder, I heat it just enough until it's clear, but not too much, otherwise it kind of dulls it. So I'm going to go in and do a little bit of ink blending, and I'm using some of the lightest colors from my Simon Hurley Create ink pads. So I'm using my ink blending brushes and I want to make sure that they're kind of a little bit cleaner. I use one ink blending brush for each color family, which means that some darker colors can be on there. So I just wipe it off on a sheet of scrap cardstock first to get away any excess color, and then we can go in and start our ink blending with these lighter tones. I'm starting off with Sidewalk Chalk, which is one of my newer colors from the Simon Hurley Create line. It's this nice kind of soft purple, and I really love how it looks. So I'm just taking these Ginny K ink blending brushes. I like the brushes because they give that, again, softer color, and they're really easy to blend out. So I'll just go into the center of these lilies using the kind of front bristles of that brush and just blend a couple out with this color. Now I also am only blending kind of the centers of the lilies. I love those lilies in real life that have kind of that color in the center and they fade out to white. So that was the look I was going for with these kind of more pastel colors. Next I'll go into the piggyback color, which is this kind of light pink, and I'll just go into the center of some other flowers and start blending that out as well. Now this is where it became really important to make sure the color was off my brushes, because I used these brushes for like darker pinks and things like that as well. So I wanted to make sure that we had these super light colors, so wiping off that brush really helps. But I love that we now have these kind of softer, more pastel tones in the Simon Hurley Create line. It makes it really super easy to go in and create these kind of Easter or softer looking pastel blends, and they come out super stunning. So these three colors are some of my faves for Easter. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of Psych to fill it in for some of the leaves, just taking my blender brushes and keeping that color kind of light and in between all the different areas where the stems and things like that would be in these flower clusters. I just wanted to, get rid of some of that white space. And then I also went in with a little bit of Tropical Tango. I wanted to add just a little bit of shading, so I took this detail ink blending brush. It's like a small little foam on a stick, and it's really great for blending and getting into any of those tiny little details where that brush wouldn't have been able to get into. So it just added a little bit of extra shading and dimension to my leaves and my background as I was creating. Alright, so once I'm done with blending, I'm going to go in with my water sprayer and just spray a little tiny bit of water onto there. My inks react nicely with water, so it'll just kind of lift off some of that color and add a little bit of texture to it. So I love how that blending came out. Again, it was super simple to do, a really easy way to color if you don't love watercoloring, and it just creates that nice soft color on there. So next I'm going to create those gatefolds, and I want them to have lots of detail in them and kind of have these edges of the flowers. So I'm just going to go in and fussy cut this out with my scissors. Now if you're not a big fan of fussy cutting, I encourage you to try these Fiskars Spring Assist scissors. They have been totally game changing for me with my fussy cutting. They have this spring in them so your hands don't get tired, and they have a really nice fine detail point so you're able to get into all of those little details. And I just went around and left a little bit of a border around it, but cut along that edge so that you can have those kind of detailed looking folds when you fold it into the gatefold. Now once that's finished, I'm going to take one of the pieces and add a tiny little bit of repositionable adhesive, and I'm going to just place them kind of both together how I want it to look when the card is completely closed and folded up. That little bit of adhesive is going to hold it together for how the card is going to look, and then I can cut it down in my trimmer. So I'm going to trim it down to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. That's the perfect size for my card here, and then this just makes it so that we can easily trim them together and make sure everything is nice and straight and how I want it to look. Then for the card base, I cut a piece of stark white cardstock down so it's 5.5 inches tall, and I'm going to score it at both sides going in from 2 1/8 inches, and that's going to create 2 flaps that meet directly into the center, and it's going to create a nice gatefolding card for us. Now I went in on my trimmer and I actually trimmed down those sides because we have those flowers that kind of jut in a little bit. You would see some of that cardstock. So I just decided to cut them off a tiny little bit, but you still have both of those folds. And then I'm going to adhere the panels down onto those folds. And for this I used a little bit of score tape so that it stayed together nice and strong. But adhering those down onto those flaps, and then you have both of those sides that close in onto the center. Now I wanted to create a little belly band to hold it together, so I'm stamping down the sentiment "Have a Blessed Easter" and some jet black archival ink onto a piece of vellum, and then I'll clear heat emboss it so it's nice and shiny again, and I like the finish of that, but you totally don't need to do it. Then I'll go in, and for a belly band, I like to fold it onto the card instead of scoring it. I fold it very loosely so that there's a little bit of extra room, and this just makes sure that it's going to fit around your card, and again, that extra room is key so you can easily fit it around. To make my sentiment stand out more, I took a scalloped oval die from Tonic and cut out this tiny little oval, and I ink blended a little bit of Sidewalk chalk onto the edge so that it kind of cohesively fits with the rest of my card. But I adhered that onto the back of the vellum so that the sentiment stood out a little bit more on the card, and that finishes everything off really nicely. So I love how that belly band was finished off, and it really makes the sentiment stand out and hold things together. And when you pull that off of the card, you have these beautiful folding in edges that have those lovely lilies on it, and I love all of the texture and dimension that this has. Now for the next card, I'm just using one of the sections of lilies. So this is where it's really helpful to have that peel apart. I pulled it out and I'm just stamping down one side of it onto my card. So just giving it good pressure to make sure that everything stamps down nicely. And then once that's finished, I'm going to again go in with a little bit of clear embossing powder. This is one thing that I love about the archival ink. I pretty much do it all the time just because I like the nice shiny finish that it gives to your card. It makes things feel really finished off. So then I'm going to go in with this Altenew Halftone Circle stamp set. It's become one of my faves lately. It's a little bit older, but I absolutely love it for adding some texture and color and a really bold graphic look to your cards. So I'm focusing on these small halftone circles today for a little bit of easy coloring. I'm starting off with one of the kind of medium halftone patterns, and I'm going to go in with Rosy Cheeks, which is a little bit of a darker pink, and stamp it at the center of some of these lilies. Now the reason why I love these halftone patterns so much is because it's darker in the center and it's made up of a bunch of little dots, and then the little dots kind of get a little bit farther away near the outside, which creates an almost lighter illusion of ink. So it creates a really easy way to add shading to your images here. So next I'm going in with a little bit of Sidewalk chalk, and again I'm stamping it in at the center of some of these lilies. And the center of the lilies is where the most shading would usually be, since that's where kind of the leaves are most together. So that's why I started off by adding this darker color into the center of the flowers and making it fade out a little bit with that halftone pattern design. Now next I'm going to go in with a lighter color of ink. So for the pink I'm using a little bit of Piggyback, which is what we used earlier, and I'm going to stamp it with a smaller halftone pattern on all of the kind of surrounding petals. You know, a little bit further out, but it adds some kind of shading and depth and dimension to this. So it's just a fun way to color in these flowers with a bold graphic look to it, and stamping is very easy to do. Next for the yellow, I'm going to use a little bit of Over the Moon, and that's going to soften out that slippery when wet color. So I just love how these kind of colors blend together, and with these halftone patterns, when you overlap them, you get almost another darker color in between there. So I'm just going to continue stamping it on those yellow petals until it's nice and finished off. And I like that they included these little small halftone patterns because it's really great for different techniques like this to color in some smaller images. Now, if you don't have a color that is darker and lighter so you can do the shading like this, for Sidewalk chalk, I am just going to use the exact same color, and before I go into my project, I'm going to stamp it off onto that piece of scrap paper on the side. This is going to make the ink color like one shade lighter, and it's a really great way to make your inks a little bit softer if you would like that when stamping. There's other purples in the Simon Hurley Create line, but if I want to match the exact tone of the ink, this is a great way to go. By just stamping off to the edge, you're getting the exact same tone of that color, but it's just a little bit lighter. So that's a really good tip if you don't have a ton of inks in your collection. Now for the leaves, I did the exact same thing. Using those small little halftones, I started off with a darker color, then I went into Psych, and then I wanted to add even a little bit of a lighter color to that too. So I went in with Psych stamped off once, and that created a lighter tone for that color as well. So here is how that looks once it's completely done. I love the graphic look of it. Alright, so for my background, I wanted that halftone pattern to continue, and in that stamp set there are a bunch of different sizes. So I grabbed one of the largest halftone patterns, and I'm going to stamp it onto a piece of blue cardstock with my Clear Skies ink, and this is just going to create a cool tone-on-tone effect, but it's going to kind of fade out into the distance and create just a cool texture in the background. It just added a little bit of extra interest and dimension to the card. Now I added the lilies onto one side. You can see those cool halftones in the background too, and I just love how this was finished off. A really cool way to add some bold graphic color, and it doesn't take too much time or effort to get those beautiful stamped results in the end. I hope you guys really enjoyed these Easter projects. If you did, please leave a comment down below letting me know which card was your favorite from today's video. And also give this video a big thumbs up, and be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you never miss another card making and crafting video like this one from me. Alright guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!